X-chromosome genes in the manuscript, color blindness, monochromacy. In the manuscript, there is a verse that describes color blindness. They said, "Call upon your Lord to show us what her color is." He says she is a yellow cow, bright in color, pleasing to those looking. They said, "Call upon your Lord to show us which one. The cows look alike to us, and God willing, we will be guided." He says she is a cow, neither yoked to plow the earth, nor to irrigate the field, sound without a patch. They said, "Now you came out with the truth." So they slew her, though they almost did not. 269-271. The gene OPN1MW is described metaphorically in the experiences of those who could not see red, and neither the bright yellow color, but they could see patches of different colors, as seen in the following photo. This gene is associated with a condition known as blue monochromatic color blindness. People with this genetic variation may struggle to see specific colors, particularly those in the blue spectrum, due to the lack of proper red and green cone pigments. This gene is part of the human X-chromosome, which means it's linked to certain sex-linked inheritance patterns. Monochromacy, from Greek mono, meaning one, and chromo, meaning color, is the ability of organisms to perceive only light intensity without respect to spectral composition. Humans with monochromacy lack color vision and can only see in shades of gray ranging from black to white. The OPN1MW gene for the medium M wavelength or green cone opsin is responsible for this condition. OPN1MW is located at XQ28. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome. Spray Drosophila. God mentions the mosquito in the manuscript as an example to ponder about. Indeed, God does not shy away from dropping an example of a mosquito or what is above it. So as for those who believed, they know that it is the fact from their Lord. But those who unbelieved, then they say, "What did God intend by this example?" With it he deludes many, and with it he guides many, but he deludes only the defiant. Humans and mosquitoes share a number of genes, as both species are part of the animal kingdom and share a common evolutionary ancestor. The genes are highly conserved across species because they perform fundamental biological functions. Spry3 gene, Sprouty homolog 3, Drosophila, is common in both species, plays an essential role in signaling pathways that control developmental process, immunity, and cell regulation. The Spro3 gene is located on XQ28. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome. Favism, allergy to folic acid. O Moses, we cannot persevere upon one food, so call for us your Lord to egress to us from what the earth grows, from its legumes and its scallions and its fava beans and lentils and onions. This verse, which describes the people who complained about their food, is a metaphoric reference to the allergic reaction caused by herbs and lentils, which are high in folate, and allergic reactions to cucumber, fava beans, garlic, and onion. The verse is a metaphor for favism, which is a condition that is linked to a gene known as G6PD. This gene plays a crucial role in the body's ability to process certain foods that contain folates. Favism is a genetic condition caused by a deficiency in the enzyme glucose-6-phosphate dehydrogenase, or G6PD. Individuals with this deficiency can experience acute hemolytic anemia when they consume folate-containing foods, leading to symptoms like fatigue, jaundice, and dark urine. Lentils, fava beans, and herbs are rich in folic acid, an essential nutrient that supports red blood cell production and can trigger severe reaction in those with G6PD deficiency. Note, the gene for allergy to cucumber and onion hasn't been identified in this gene yet. G6PD gene location is XQ28. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome.
Seizure upon awakening. Those who consume the usury do not rise, except as someone whom the Satan is beating from the touch. 2/75. The clinical symptom described in this verse is consistent with seizure upon rising up in the morning or after waking up. The gene mutation that caused this condition is SLC9A6. SLC9AS6 gene is highly expressed in the brain and plays a significant role in neuronal development and synaptic function. Seizure after waking up is one of its key features. SLC96S gene is located on XQ26.6. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome. Biting of fingers, but when they passed, they bit their fingers in rage. 319. The symptom of biting of fingers is associated with Lesch-Nyhan syndrome. The gene responsible is HPRT1. Patients often exhibit aggressive or compulsive behavior and self-injury. HPRT1 gene is located on XQ26.6 to XQ26.3. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome. Collared around neck, they will be collared by what they stinted. Mutations of the X-linked SH2D1A gene are responsible neck lymphoma, which is manifested as swollen lymph nodes in the neck area. Common signs include lumps in the neck. SH21A gene is located on XQ25. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome. Split hand-foot malformation, or have their hands and feet cut from behind. 533. The punishment in the hereafter for those who devastate in the earth is to cut their hands and feet. The gene mutation that best describes this condition is SHF2, split hand-foot malformation. SHFM, also known as ectrodactyly or cleft hand, is a rare genetic disorder that affects the development of the limbs. Symptoms: the digits in the hands or feet may be absent, malformed, or fused together. The hands and feet may also have a median cleft. SHFM2 cytogenetic location, XQ26. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome. Eye tumbling, rapid eye movements, and we tumble their vitals and their visions. 610. The X-linked gene malformation that causes this condition is PLP1, Pelizaeus-Merzbacher disease, PMD, is a rare inherited and progressive neurological disorder. Symptoms include developmental delay and nystagmus, rapid involuntary eye movements. PLP1 is located on XQ22.2. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome. Cortical deafness, blindness, and paralysis are to them feet with which they march, or are to them hands with which they bash, or are to them eyes with which they see, or are to them ears with which they listen. The verse describes those who have non-functional feet, hands, and eyes. The best gene that describes this condition is TIM8A, which is an X-linked gene. TIM8A is crucial for the proper functioning of mitochondria, as it helps in the translocation of proteins that are essential for mitochondrial function and energy production. Mutations in this gene cause primarily hearing loss, which can be progressive. Some individuals may also experience neurological symptoms, including ataxia or cognitive impairment. Cortical blindness is suspected. TIM8A gene is located on XQ22.1. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome. Premature ovarian failure. She said, "Woe to me. How can I give birth when I am an aging woman, and this is my bloke, a senior?" The verse is about the aging wife of Prophet Abraham, who could not get pregnant during her life. The common disease which prevents women from getting pregnant is premature ovarian failure. The gene that causes this condition is DIAPH2. This gene may play a role in the development and normal function of the ovaries. Mutations of this gene have been linked to premature ovarian failure. DIAH2 gene is located in the XQ21.33. The location of the verse mirrors the location of the gene on the X chromosome.